We are so excited. When Howard started this conquest some months ago, some years ago, we sat and thought about, is this going to work? Are we excited? It happened. We're here. And because he wants to be part of this family and part of this operation, he's here this morning to spend some time with us. We're going to take a couple of questions after David's conversation with you all. I hope you'll feel free to stand up and say hello and welcome him. And can we show him how we're going to welcome him? Ladies and gentlemen, the new signature star of the CBS television network, David Letterman. Up there or this mic? Let's find over there.
Thank you, please. Hey, oh, no. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and really, really nice hats. I couldn't be happier to be here this morning. I think the question on everybody's mind, certainly the question on my mind as I came in here this morning, does Larry know we're in a Marriott? That's the question. Geez. If you have song requests, I want you to hang on to them, hold them. Roger Clinton will be out a little bit later to amuse and delight each and every one of you. And I'm going to hold my remarks and keep them kind of brief here this morning because I know a lot of you want to get out to the CIA for the weekly random shooting. So that's, you can't. I want to, you don't want to miss that. I want to thank, let me tell you an interesting story about Tony. Last night, there's my hotel room, there's a knock on the door, about 11:30. And I open the door and it's Tony. And he walks right on in and I said, by all means, come in. And he's got a stopwatch and he says, here, time me. And I said, well, sure, I'm new, I don't know what's going on. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, in 10 minutes, that man did 1,000 sit-ups. It was stunning. How you think? I've only been affiliated with CBS a couple of weeks, couple of months. I think I feel comfortable enough. And I think everybody else sort of feels this way. Howard Stringer, is Howard around? Howard, what is the deal on the accent? Seriously, where exactly are you from, sir? I guess it was about 6 weeks ago, and we had the press conference, and for me, it was just kind of a whirl of activity, and it was exciting. But it was going so quickly and things were transpiring so rapidly, it was difficult for me to absorb just exactly the feelings I had and what was going on as far as I was concerned and what the network was up to. And that Sunday I was at my home and I'm watching football on the CBS station out of Hartford, WFSB. And during a local break, I see kind of out of the corner of my eye, a promo is running for what I think is my show. And I think, well, I'll be darned, isn't that odd? The CBS affiliate is running a promotional announcement for my show on NBC. That's the darndest thing, I thought to myself. And then it ran again, and I looked at it, and I realized it wasn't a promo for the show on NBC. It was a promo for the show on CBS. And now I'm starting to get excited. I'm thinking, wow, this, it looks like it's going to be a great show. And it was interesting to me because they had footage actually from the NBC show, and they had footage from the CBS press conference. And the lighting at the press conference was better than what I get every night. And so as this thing is running during the day, I'm really now kind of in a frenzy because I'm thinking, what does this represent? And I turned to the woman who keeps breaking into my home and I said, you see, this is why This is why CBS is #1. And I said, why can't I work for these people? And then, of course, the realization hit me, I do work for you people. And that realization for me has been and still is the most exciting part about this whole situation. And I would like to thank the folks at that station and everybody else who has sent cards, letters, and telephone calls, and we're now receiving ticket requests for the new program. And, you know, depending on where we locate, that'll involve bus fare. I have a couple of things I want to say, and I've never said this kind of thing before, but I feel like I want to let these things be said, let them be known. In 1967, I was a junior in college. How old is this guy? In 1967, I was a junior in college, and I got my first job in television at the ABC affiliate in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it was one of the best experiences in my life. And I did news, I did sports, I did weather, I had an all-night movie show, I did movie reviews, I did everything a person can do at a local television station. Now, this provided me with two great experiences. One, I learned everything I needed to know to be on television. I mean, pretty much doing the same kind of thing now. And two, it gave me a perspective that you only get by working at local television stations, and that is that the network is not Black Rock in New York City, it's not Television City in Los Angeles. The network is the independent or the affiliated stations in the local markets. And my point for bringing this up is I've had a real strong feeling about broadcasters and local television all my life. And I want to say to you now, if during this project there's anything I can do, anything you can do, anything you can think of, if it's tickets, if it's interviews, if it's promotions, anything you have in mind, please let us know. And I'm not talking about the first week, I'm not talking about the first month or the first 6 months. I'm talking about I would like a relationship like this for as long as we're working together. And I'm looking now at the second half of my career. I'm not going to come and go in a couple of years. I'm going to be here for a long, long time, and it will be very, very disappointing to me if I feel we don't have that kind of relationship in 5 years, in 6 years, in 10 years. Anything you need or want, please come to us. Now, now we'll try and get this daycare bill through and we can go home. The other thing is I want to tell you a little bit about the television show that I've done for 11 years. This week, by the way, we celebrated 11 years on the air. Not that you could prove it by NBC, though. In that time, we've done, I guess, about 1,800 shows. I've been there for each and every one of them. I don't remember some of them, but I have been there. We have been lucky enough to be nominated for about 35 or 40 Emmys. We've won 5, 6, or 7 Emmys. We've won a Peabody Award. The show has generated, I think, 3 books that were on the New York Times bestseller list. And this is the kind of show we like to do, and this is the kind of show we want to do for you folks. I don't look at this as being my show. I look at it as being our show. You never will be able to understand, nor could I explain to you, how proud I am to be working at CBS. And I will tell you one thing, and maybe it's a guarantee, and that is I will work as hard as I can. Our production staff will work as hard as they can. We will all work just as hard as we possibly can to make you folks proud to have us. And short of that, I'm not sure what I can say. Are there questions at this point, or can I get anybody anything as long as I'm up? Would you like some coffee? Would you like some Danish? We have a 90-minute videotape entitled How a Bill Becomes a Law, so we're going to...
I'll start it out, Mr. Letterman.
Yes, sir.
Anybody that makes that kind of money, I'll call Mr.
I feel the same about a guy who wears a tie like that. It's the old target tie that the Marines developed in the Second World War.
Well, that's all right. I'll take it. As chairman of the Affiliates Association, I thought I should be first today. And
Yes,
just
sir,
say
and
to welcome.
congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Condolences, too, I think. But I wanted to say welcome. We're pleased to have you, not with the network, but with our local stations. And we're excited about what you're going to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I appreciate your kind words and your thoughts. And I want you, when you leave here, I just think about one thing. And I don't mean to recall experiences in the past, but one of the things that I think we all found a little disappointing was that we never had a sense that we were really working for or with anybody other than the folks there in the building. And that was always a little disappointing to me. And I'm serious about wanting to be able to participate, to help, to do anything we can for the stations.
I appreciate that. I'm from Montana, and we've got a little community in Two Dot, Montana, we need a little help with to get our ratings up. So anytime you want to come out and visit, we'll be pleased to have you. Thank you.
Actually, that offer didn't really extend to Montana, but... Thank you, Mr. Tisch. It's the darndest thing, isn't it? Any other questions at this point? Yes, sir.
I guess the only disappointment I have is my name is David Wrighton, and when I got here this morning, I was disappointed that this wasn't for me, so I would like you to tell all the affiliates that this is your and I hat together, and we're going to make this thing go. So,
all right. Yeah, I appreciate it. If that's what it takes to make you happy, you have it, sir. Absolutely. A man, I think, who is accustomed to disappointments, but sure, I will be happy to do what I can. What do you think? Can we get on to other matters?
That we can ask for the next target. I'm not sure which we can do. Any other questions for David or comments? Terrific. Thank you very much.
Again, thank you folks very much. Have a great time in Washington. We'll see you soon.
Well, that's the beginning of a dynasty, we hope. And I'm really excited about the idea of getting everybody involved like that. One of the questions about being over at NBC, and I will tell you this, I guess, okay, this is in the family. We had a lot of those stories that were floating around during the time of the negotiation and the time of the disenchantment over there. It was amazing at some of the things that didn't happen as far as the network is concerned in relation to this very important franchise. And some of the time we've spent with David is to make sure that this becomes the kind of unit that he just asked for. And I'm delighted he said it, and I know you'll take him at his word, and we'll be talking to you all about some of those opportunities. We're talking about shooting some promos and taping some personal market promos, which we'll be doing very, very shortly. And I hope that you'll all get in touch with Scott and the affiliate relations people, and we'll get all that stuff going as soon as we can.